Nick, can you talk into the microphone?
Check 1, check 2, check everything.
I got nothing because you didn't plug it in, you asshole.
Classic old man Nick.
Classic Nick. I knew you didn't plug it in. It was a test and you failed.
What other old man Nick stuff do we have right now?
That's my side.
He's like, I was actually just testing you to test me. And you also failed.
Do not pass crowd. Do not collect $200.
Wow. Wow.
Don't start your mouth already. Dude,
Wow.
We're not naming 2 episodes in a row. Wow. Wowzers.
Episode 3. Wow. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Get all your wows out of your system.
Hang on, more beer will help.
This sounds like something a liar would say.
Are we rolling yet?
Stop asking that. We never roll.
Hold on.
Roll hard, bro.
Now I gotta play something.
Summer 16.
Nice.
Now I gotta play this stupid song now because you were talking about rolling, and the good times have to roll now.
Oh yeah.
Let the good times roll.
Okay, we've been demonetized,
All right.
and we're no longer a podcast.
Finally.
Spotify just took us down
Finally.
because we listened to a car song. Are you happy, listeners? You finally got what you wanted.
You know, when I signed this up for all these podcast distribution sites, they all want me to like click this thing like I agree to the terms of service, and they're all like, we're not going to play like other people's music and shit. I just clicked yes, I agree on everything, like 100 different boxes. So we're probably going to get sued.
Well, Rick Nielsen, suck my balls.
You know, Rick Nielsen is a good fan or a good friend of Hanson, and Hanson is my favorite band. So maybe we won't get sued.
He's a good friend of like everybody.
Yeah.
Rick Nielsen is not in the Cars, is he?
No, he's
No,
he's in
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick, right? Yeah.
The
Are
three.
they-
He's the guy with the guitar.
the 5-neck guitar. Do they still exist? The Cheap Trick still exist?
Yeah, they do.
They're like
really?
9,000 years old
They're
now.
the 3-hit wonder. But I saw him in an interview, and he was like, I don't get paid to play music. I get paid to travel.
Huh.
Yeah. That's a pretty good take on it. He just loves it so much, so they'll never stop.
Damn. The only thing I know them for is the that 70s show theme song when they rebooted it.
Well, I guess that's technically their 4th song, I guess.
What are their other songs?
Surrender,
Oh.
Dream Police,
Surrender.
and
Surrender.
what's the other one?
That's the only part that's all I know.
I want you to love me.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know why I know
Dream
Surrender?
Police coming through your head.
Yeah, the Dream Police. Do you know why I know that Surrender? When I was 10, I watched Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy.
What part was
And
that?
the guy
was on guitar,
and the guy from oh my god, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry David.
Jeff Garlin.
Jeff
Oh,
Garlin.
Jeff Garlin.
Jeff Garlin
Yeah.
and Eddie Murphy were in that movie, and for some reason they got Cheap Trick to play like their kids' party or something like that.
Really?
And they're playing Surrender, yeah. That's the only reason why I know.
Were they
that
in
song.
costumes or something?
No, it was Rick Nielsen just playing with a 59 Les Paul, probably. Like,
I watched that movie with Remy not that long ago. I guess I was on my phone or something.
wow, Nick, father of the year.
Such a great parent.
Hey, I'm on my phone less than most people.
I don't think that's exactly a.
That's not.
That's not something you should be awarded for.
Sure, it is.
He's like, I'm on my phone at least 2% less than, which equates to 35 seconds a day.
Speaking of Nick and his daughters and Bud Light, I just want you guys to know that tonight I am bringing the warm, the thick, and the salty. Just for you guys.
Did you get that from Ear Sausage Studios?
Ear Sausage Studios sponsors everything in my life.
I just want to let you know
They've been good
that
to us.
I I spoke out of turn, and that if this podcast does sound bad, do not direct your emails to me. Direct it to tikibob@earsausagestudios.meet. All requests to how the sound is going goes to Tiki Bob.
He's our
Again,
producer.
at earsausagestudios.meet.
You could really do anything at anything.meet. Tiki Bob will get it.
He's the bigwig of Earsausage Studios.
He's staring right at us right now, giving us
He owns
mean
the-
mugging the shit out
The
of us.
dot meat fucking. He is mean mugging us. Dude, fix his hair.
I don't know how.
Oh my God. Have you never.
I've never had a ponytail.
I actually have, and I'm the bald guy.
Well,
in
you
the
see, save it for the you episode that we'll do one time.
Oh, are we going to do a Jase episode?
Yeah. Oh, it'll be like the Sunny thing they did, where they did like a D-Day, a Frank Day, a Charlie Day.
Yes.
It'll be like that.
a Charlie Day.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, shit.
Got him.
Insert effect sound right there.
That's the perfect sound. Don't change a thing.
I'll make sure I put lots of reverb on it.
All right, so the topic for today is
Wait.
episode 3.
Wait, people don't know who we are. They also don't know how famous we are.
Yes, we have 8 billion subscribers now from the first 2 podcasts. We now control all media in 57 countries.
I heard it went up to 9 billion. Let's give a shout out to our 9 billion. I heard Mozambique decided to start listening to us.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
It's a country in Africa.
Okay.
So shout out to Mozambique.
I said I don't know who that is. Sorry, Mozambique.
I'm Jase. I'm the fat bald one. I'm the guy that's on bass and I sing and stuff.
I'm Mike. I play guitar, bass still as well for a couple
Bullshit.
songs, and lead guitar. And I was told by a random dude at a show in March that I was the handsome one, so I'm still the best looking member.
Look at
of the
you.
band.
You just have the best hair. That's really what it is.
That one guy that was hanging out after the show at outside of the one on St. Patty's Day.
Oh, the redheaded dude.
He
that
was
guy.
like, and you're the handsome one. And I was like, all right, I'll roll with it, man. I accept this compliment.
My name's Nick, and for what it's worth, I'm the drummer, and Mozambique has a population of 31.26 million people.
Right, exactly.
shit.
That's basically a billion. So there's our 9 billion.
Yeah. 9 billion people are listening to this podcast right
Thanks,
now.
Mozambique. That's the name of the podcast.
We might start wars depending on what we say.
All right,
Well,
so
we already pissed off Tibet.
topic of this podcast.
Wait, hold on. The Dalai Lama is
Jesus Christ.
not in Thailand?
Not anymore.
He travels all over
They
the place.
ousted him because of you.
He's in the temple at the top of those long stairs that Ace Ventura had to climb up all those years ago.
If you need him, just stick your tongue out. He'll come
Is
by.
is he in the temple?
He might be.
Oh shit!
Where the great computers fill the hollowed halls. Yeah.
Mike, put some cool effects. on
That'll
that shit.
definitely have some reverb.
Wait, and also pitch correct it because I was terrible.
I'll make it sound like T-Pain, don't worry.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Who is a great singer, by the way. Watch his NPR Tiny Desk episode that came out like 6 or 7 years ago. Amazing singer.
He was
Beautiful
on.
voice.
He was on the Masked Singer.
Was he?
He won it. Like the second or third
I
season.
mean, like literally, like one of the best voices I've ever heard.
Really?
He's incredible, and he explained the story. Watch it on Netflix. It's like a little short documentary on it, and he talked about how for years he was trying to stand out in like the R&B scene, hip hop scene, and he was trying to find the effect that he heard on the Cher song, and he didn't know what it was. So he was just like pirating stuff and like finding random CDs, and then one day he ended up downloading this one plugin. He clicked through all the presets, and he said he just found that exact auto tune kind of preset you hear, that robot-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he just recorded a bunch of all his albums.
So I'm just some random ass white dude, and I know who T-Pain is because of that. So
Yeah.
that's impressive.
But a lot of people blamed him for ruining music. He said his friend said to him on a plane that he was like, man, you ruined music. Like, that's paraphrased a little bit, but like
Cher did it before him though. Do
Yeah.
you believe in a thing?
and then producers started using it to correct bad singers, And then T-Pain was like, I'm going to use it as an effect for fun and to stand out. And then everyone blamed T-Pain.
I have a confession.
What?
Half of my songs are auto-tuned.
So are all the Fall Out Boy songs. It's fine.
I really can't sing in real life. You guys know this. Our singers don't, though, until they hear us in real life. And then we lose them as fans. So we got to... This is a balancing act, really.
To fact check myself, he won season 1, by the way. I know everyone out there really cares. But I messed it up. I said season 2 or 3.
Hold on.
Where's my porn button?
Wait, hold on. Wow.
So no, shut your mouth. Shut your dirty mouth. I'll burn your house down.
All right. And with that...
All right, finally. The topic today is our first bands. First bands that we each got into before joining this one. Mike, you are up first because I said so.
Right. Sponsor time.
I was about to say we should sponsor this one. Go on.
Yeah.
This is brought to you by Drownlands Green Yield.
Oh, yeah,
beer,
you got to pour me some of that.
who's in Warwick, New York.
Where's mine?
Shout out to Drownlands.
Just grab a whole one. It's up there.
Hire us if you listen to this podcast, and don't be offended if we say something.
We're gonna say offensive stuff. Just accept it.
And this is I haven't had. I love Drownlands. I love their brewery. I have not had this beer yet. And Nick, I just poured you a glass of foam. Congratulations.
This segment is also brought to you by Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's was founded in Burlington, Vermont in 1978, but sadly their founders both died of heart attacks in 1979, attributed to their promise to diligently taste test every single product that left their factory. In honor of their commitment to quality, we're releasing a new meat-based line. There will be a salmon flavor as well as Taco Tuesday, liver lovers, and sausage in your ear in conjunction with Ear Sausage Studios. Ben & Jerry's, I'm loving it.
Yes, Ear Sausage Studios is our daddy.
You know, sometimes I'm really glad we don't run these by each other before we say them.
No, we should never run these ads by
But
each other.
other times, I feel like we would save the listeners a lot of trouble by just muting Nick's microphone whenever he's about to talk.
Just for my ads. We'll start with the ads and then slowly mute more of them.
Well, at least it wasn't a Tucker Carlson racist rant this time.
Oh yeah, so Nick got
Hey,
two.
there's no proof of that.
Nick got 2 things muted last time, and I only got 1. So I think I'm winning.
No, Jay, you got about like 57 things.
God damn it!
How did his porn not get muted? That's what I want.
Oh no, that's part of the podcast now.
Because it
That
wasn't
was delicious.
It
Can I
wasn't
get a little bit more?
copyrighted lyrics.
That was mostly film.
Exactly. But it is copyrighted porn, probably. I mean, hardcore corn.
Hardcore corn.
Right. All right. Next. So, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're first. First band. What was your first band?
First? All right.
All right, he's on the spot.
I just want to let everyone know. Hold on, Jay, pour this for yourself in a can or something.
It's fine. I'll just drink my own stuff.
No. You got to drink this. This
I'll
is
take
the sponsor for the segment.
Can at least try it.
Okay, we're like Adam and God right there.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
I would describe it as crisp, somewhat clean,
Pour it into a can.
not quite piney, not quite juicy. Kind of its own thing. I would give this probably 3.75, leaning towards a 4.
That's tasty. It's very piney.
It's definitely gets a,
make good shit.
this definitely gets a 4.
It's salty and thick and warm. It's good stuff. What is that called again?
Jay likes his everything salty. And
This is Drownlands. They have bands sometimes.
Oh,
They're in Warwick. Green Yield. They're part of the dirt-rich Warwick, the black dirt area. The dirt is actually like really dark, black, and rich with nutrition and protein.
That's nice.
That's not the
I'll give you some
just
wows,
go
but
there
we're
with
not
a
doing that anymore.
spoon.
It's just eating dirt underneath the black walnut tree.
So what was your first band, Mike? Tell us.
All right,
Listeners wanna know.
we're excluding gigging bands, right?
Right. Yeah.
For-
Once we became famous, there's no everyone knows us already. So.
there's 15 million people who know
Yeah.
the name Mike Rio right now.
And run for cover.
What was your first band?
And run for cover. So, relax, I'm getting there. Now we'll make you wait. Okay.
That's a good round of silence.
So
I was just zoning out. I wasn't actually waiting.
I was waiting for the porn sounds to come in. So essentially, my first band was with my buddy Ryan Marshall, who might be listening to this podcast right now.
Is he gay?
No.
Might he be? Can we
No.
convince him?
No.
Oh fuck. Okay,
But
go on.
One of the guys in the first band might have been.
All right. I'm interested now. Go on.
But anyway, we started.
You had Jay, Michael.
You have my attention, sir. Go on.
So we started this band called Offbeat Oddity, which with another guy. I'm not gonna dox him on the podcast. He's a cool dude, but
Is his name Jim Erickson?
Yes, exactly. Wow,
Got him.
So we started that. I was about 12, and I learned bass when I was 12. So like I was playing for maybe 4 or 5 months, and we started the band just kind of doing like, hey, let's learn some covers. All right, let's learn When I Come Around. And it was too hard for me, but I tried it anyway. And then he was like, let's learn this. It was a newer Offspring song that was on the Greatest Hits album. There was a new song. I think it goes like, it's like Life Goes On. Life goes on.
Life goes on.
No, man.
What am I singing?
That's Beatles.
Like,
Oba Di Oba Da.
You're right.
White album.
Can't hold on. Anyway, that's like the melody.
That sounds awful. Why would anyone listen to that?
So I'll just play it anyway. But so it starts with like a bass riff, and I was like, oh, I could play that, and I didn't know how to like do anything really. So I just kind of played like it goes like and I just played and I was like, I think I'm doing it. So we started with that, and then we started writing originals, and it was one of those bands that like we literally just like made noise for a solid 4 or 5 months. I mean, we didn't know any scales, didn't know anything. Were just like, we liked Metallica and Pantera and a bunch of bands and like Sum 41 and all the shit, and we just kind of like came together and we were like, oh, we're just gonna make some stuff. And then we posted things to MySpace, which is what you did in 2005.
Like you had a song that played as soon as you landed on the page.
Oh yeah, no, we had a band page. Because you had the band pages and you had the music player, and we had 4 songs.
Shout out to MySpace.
Honestly,
it's coming back.
A huge void left the music community, because even my second band was on there as well, and third band. But I'll go into after that. I'll kind of go into the second and third band kind of blend together. So the second band was Entombment of a King, and I was with my buddy Ryan and his brother Charlie.
Wait, what was it called again?
Entombment of a King.
Oh God.
Eoke, which is my screen name for everything.
Oh, that's the origin of it?
It's all coming together.
I haven't wondered what that stood for this whole time.
I didn't either. I was like, all right.
I don't care at all. I'm not gonna ask.
Entombment of a King. The backup name was A Theory for Murder, which I think sounds really trendy now, looking back at it, which may have got us noticed because everything was like a verb and then a phrase or whatever. a verb, the noun.
Theory of a madman.
Yeah, a verb, the noun was usually. But and I played like, so the first band was kind of like this like Pantera, making noise, Metallica, whatever we did. Ryan used to like speed the song up in the middle of it just to fuck with us and shit like that and not tell us. And then the second band was like a real band, and we tuned in drop C. That's how we knew we were a real band. And then we made like metalcore, so we had like breakdowns and stuff. And we made a bunch of songs. I don't have any of them recorded, but me and Ryan re-recorded them years later by ourselves. And then we went to play one gig. It was the high school coffee house. And then Ryan, sorry man, but you were in this band too. He was in this other band, and they played War Pigs, and they put the fog machine on, and it set the fire alarms off. and when we couldn't, the fire department called, and we couldn't go back inside, and we couldn't play.
Oh jeez.
So we never played a gig. And then that band kind of rolled into. I know this is the third band, but they were so close together.
It's okay. We'll cut all this. Go on.
It's fine. Arise from the Ashes was... I want to get into at least my first gigging band. Arise from the Ashes is the first gigging band I ever had. Same drummer, Ryan.
It's a better name.
And then I still have the songs. We made an EP. We probably played like... I want to say... 8 gigs? maybe.
Damn.
I mean, we did pretty well. I mean, we played
How old were you at this time?
14. And Ryan's a little older. But yeah. So, hope he doesn't mind me saying his last name. May I blank it out.
It's too late.
But, yeah. We played Club Crandall in Poughkeepsie, New York when it was open. And then the Loft. And then we never played a Chance or anything like that. We played the Loft a few times. And we played the Elks Lodge in Peekskill, which is down the road from Peekskill Brewery, where we play regularly. And in the Elks Lodge, it was literally like there was like a dance floor, and they had a battle of the bands, and there was just like a bunch of like teenagers just like having a mosh pit. But anyway, that was my first couple bands, and it was a good time. Especially like I enjoyed like the phases each one went through. Like the first one was just noise. Then at the end we started becoming better. Like if I had the recording still, you would hear the first one and it'd be noise, and then like, oh my god, there's a song at the end of this a couple months later. And then the next two were actually kind of serious.
How did you meet these guys? Like what was the what was the conversation like? Hey, we should start a band.
I'm trying to think of how I met. Oh, so I met Ryan through, I was in middle school. I think he was in high school. And
so he groomed you.
He groomed me. So he was kind of I guess we knew we had a mutual friend who was like in between our ages. And we were going to start a band with him, but we didn't end up starting a band with him. He was in like our very first picture that we took as a band. He was going to be the singer. And he, like, it was funny because he had his head in like the bass drum and shit. Like we took a picture in like my basement and stuff, but then he ended up joining his brother's ska band after that and shit like that. But anyway, and then after that, like I became friends with Ryan, and then from there, he was in like every band from there. So, the cable.
Oh yeah. No, it was my foot on the thing that's making the noise.
Okay, I looked up the MySpace usership real quick. Took a while to find it. It peaked at 115 million. I don't know if that's hits or if that's like users. I think that's users, and currently it's at about 7 million hits.
Really? Currently?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's like 2% of the country.
Oh my god.
What
Does your MySpace still exist?
Yeah. The Arise from the Ashes one. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
I remembered the link. After 13, MySpace.com. Hold on, I swear to God, if this plays,
you gotta ration some ashes, man. Fucking like play it.
How's Tom doing these days? What's he been up to?
Has he changed his picture yet? Does he have a beard yet, or a receding hairline or something?
He's got some needles in his arm. That's what he's
got. No, he's actually. I just heard about him recently. He's on a podcast. He's apparently like. He's on Instagram mostly, and he's like a photographer now. He just travels the world, and he's like
really?
He takes like nice landscape photography and stuff. He's just living his best life, spending his millions.
I was gonna say, what's his net worth?
I'm gonna find a picture of him right now.
But yeah, do you remember your guys' top 8 and everything?
Top 8,
top 16.
Oh, that's like top friends or whatever.
Yeah, and I remember in middle school, like you have little girlfriends and stuff like that, and they would like we'd be talking, and they'd be like,
make it big.
Is that the one where he's on the whiteboard? Oh, no.
That's about what I expected. Yeah, he's an average looking dude.
Man, it sucks because all the songs are here, but they're not playing.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I have the song still, so we're good. But
I was gonna try and send you a link because when I go on my rant, like I've got links to all the songs.
He sold MySpace for $580 million.
Whoa!
In 2020.
Wow!
In 2020?
Yeah, no, because I remember a couple years ago there was
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yeah, there was this big thing where MySpace like came back and we were able to like go back on there and see like our old sites and shit.
He held on to wow. So it tanked and he didn't sell low and just like, oh, I guess I'll just hang on to it forever. And then all of a sudden it peaked for like a month or whatever and sold on the high. Wow. Good for him.
Wow.
I'm not.
Wow.
No. He's 52
tried
years
to
old.
resist.
I'm gonna try to load all this from
I cut myself
Safari
off.
because like there's a bunch of stuff broken, and I think it's Chrome that's breaking it. Let me see. But what else can I say about that band? One of my favorite memories was we had one guy in the band who always he had like a shitty Ibanez half stack, and
I didn't know they made those.
I didn't.
you didn't know you never seen the legendary Ibanez head and half stack combos.
I have never
The
seen an
cheapest-
Ibanez amp
I
at all.
didn't know they made
The
amps.
cheapest amp you could possibly buy on earth, and so he would use that, and he would always turn up too loud. And the other guitar player, Vinny, he had a Line 6 like you have over there, a Spider 2, but it was a 2x12 combo, the 125 watt.
Yeah, those
and
are nice.
he struggled to keep up with them. So at one gig, Vinny's dad was like, he had a Government Mule tribute band. Jay, you know Government
Oh,
Mule?
fucking love government.
He was a phenomenal. Vinny and his dad were phenomenal musicians, but he had a dual rectifier, and Vinny just brought it to one of the gigs,
That sounded
and
naughty.
it makes a dual rectifier, a half stack, and he just brought it to one of the gigs, and he just turned it up. And the other guy, Steve, was like, "It's too loud." And Vinny just looked at him and was like, "Jun-jun-jun, jun-jun-jun-jun." Just started playing the song. Like, fuck you.
Oh, that reminds me. I have one correction from last episode. So when you started singing Foo Fighters All My Life, I started doing jin 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 jin, and really, the correction is I should have gone jin 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 jin.
Oh.
That's the correction, folks.
The overwhelming
Those
audience
sound
comments.
Shut up! They do not sound identical. They're completely different. One has a 16th rest before it, and the other starts on the downbeat.
Okay. Ibanez definitely doesn't make any amps anymore, just so you know.
But they did.
Yes.
Let me find it all.
Well, apparently they own this company called Promethean. This one thing says Ibanez Promethean bass combo.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Hold on, pulling it up. The TB100H. Look at that baby there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the viewers can see it.
Yeah. Just type it.
Good job, viewers.
Viewers, just go to Guitar Center and type in Ibanez TB100H, 100 watt style. No, you don't type it all in. It's $250. Do you know how much amp you could buy for $250? That's not this piece of shit that I'm looking at right now. I love how it says. What does it say? It says Blaster or something on it. Oh, it says Master Blaster.
No, like from Mad Max, and from that Stevie Wonder song.
Oh, the Master Blaster. Oh, man. Maybe that's where I got that from. I just started saying that one day. Anyway, let's go. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next because Jay's gonna take a long time. With this.
No. Wait. Before you go, I have a sponsor for you.
Thank you. Please sponsor my
Yeah.
segment.
Here's the thing: we got to get paid. Like
That's true.
We can't. We have millions of listeners. Tens of millions of subscribers.
Billions
tens of billions of subscribers.
They've got their fingers on our Venmo right now.
They have our fingers all over our bodies. Like we can't just not.
Do you know how many feet pics I had to take last week?
I mean, I got like 6 of them accidentally. So you must have actually sent out many of them.
I guess guys like Hobbit feet. I'm not sure. Our listeners, I should say, like Hobbit feet.
How much hair is too much hair on your foot?
I have just enough, but not too little.
I have enough that like if a bug crawls over it, I can feel it. But not so much. Right, but not so much that people think I'm a hobbit. Just like my ears. So sometimes I sleep in the basement on the floor.
Yeah, why do you do that? It's so strange.
How did you hear about that?
I saw you do it once.
You saw? Oh shit! Does Diane talk to you about this?
No.
So
Came in, you were just passed out there. Like,
That's right.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead while you take a nap
man, this is an awkward
on the shag
conversation.
carpet. cat hair all over you.
With his ass out for some reason.
Yeah,
It's so inviting.
Guys, it feels good. Okay.
It's already lubed up for me.
Well, we've lost 1 billion listeners from that last rant.
Luckily, we still have 600 million more.
Oh, okay, good. 600 billion.
That's right.
All right, this next section is brought to you by Add to Dictionary. Have you ever typed the perfect manifesto?
I love a good manifesto ad.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good stuff.
It's okay. It's the sponsor's fault because they're writing something that's making you laugh.
It's
you know?
true.
Yeah.
Fuck these sponsors. Okay, fuck you, Add to Dictionary. Okay. Add to Dictionary. Have you ever typed the perfect manifesto only to find it filled with red squigglies? Simply right-click on each red squiggly and choose Add to Dictionary. It will make your problems disappear faster than your alcohol... Oh, God damn it. It will make your problems disappear faster than alcohol, heroin, or charging toward a cop with a Bowie knife raised. Without it, I'd be a terrible speller. Thank you, Add to Dictionary.
Thank you, Add to Dictionary.
And with that being said,
Can't believe
the
we got through
segment that Add to Dictionary brought to me. All right, so for my first band, I practiced at home for like a long time before I joined one, so I joined them a little late. I guess I was 22 around in there, 21. I joined the band. We named ourselves the Truffle Shuffle.
Jesus Christ!
Well, not the Truffle. It was just Truffle Shuffle.
That's pretty cool,
right? we had this really fat. Well, he wasn't that fat. I mean, he was pretty chunky. He was like one of the bigger weed dealers on campus, and he would just do the Truffle Shuffle once in a while. I'm like, it just happened. But yeah, any day it'd be like 4 to 8 people. We played in the music wing after hours. In like they had like a room with a drum set already there. That was decent. And I just remember this. I would get in this battle with this other fucking band nerd dude. Oh my God, this guy was such a pain in the ass. He was in the marching band and he was just learning drums.
He sounds super tough. I'm so glad you emerged victorious.
So all he would use on the drum set, he would just use basically just bass, snare, and hi-hat, maybe a ride cymbal. That's about it. And there's like 2 other half drum sets in the room. So naturally, I set up as much of a Neal Peart copycat drum set. Stop fucking laughing. Neal Peart sort of set as I can. Oh my God.
I just broke all my stuff because your story is so ridiculous.
Why is it so ridiculous?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm crying just because I'm glad you emerged victorious. It just got me. I'm sorry.
I never said I was victorious.
I'm not laughing at you.
I'm just glad you're alive.
I am alive. I survived it.
I mean, not all of us emerged from band nerds victorious.
So this bitch would go and set up his...
Whoa! You didn't say he was a bitch, bro. You gotta warn us of these fucking escalation.
Hold on. You're saying a dog knew how to play drums?
Pretty much. Well, knew how to play drums is very loosely stated. Anyway, he was a beginner drummer and in the marching band. And so he's using like literally like 3 pieces of this big drum set. So he would disassemble what I would put together every fucking time. So I would get in and I would go, all this shit's torn apart again. Like, if you're only going to use 3 things, then just hit those 3 things. You don't have to just get rid of everything else that's around it. Like, if I set up Neal Peart's drum set, like, oh, I don't like that one thing, then just don't fucking hit it. Like, just hit everything else. Like, it makes no sense. So I would have to constantly, every fuck thing. It got so annoying. And one time he was actually there when, as I was coming in. And he was like, dude, I put a lot of time and effort into it. He was like tearing up and stuff. He was shaking a little bit. Anxiety was kicking in on.
Were you already a teacher at this point?
No, I was in college.
Oh. I thought you were like this 24-year-old dude like talking shit to this 13-year-old kid.
No, he was probably 20. I was 21, 22, something like that.
Still intimidating.
And, yeah, so we had it out.
Still intimidating.
Eventually, I like showed him that like you don't have to hit the other shit I put up, and that was the end of that. But anyway, so it was a fun band. We had one band member who had a coke addiction, a prior coke addiction. He mostly got rid of it, and he owed his drug dealer. Stop, Mike. We're not doing those wows again. I'm gonna hurt you.
I kind of want to do it too. Wow.
He owed his drug dealer about $7,000. And
7 kilos?
No,
that's a lot of coke.
$7,000. And
Of
to
coke.
pay it off, he went to the bank and got a loan for $7,000 to pay the drug dealer.
Was his coke dealer Johnny Depp from that movie?
I have no idea. But a different band member did a very Johnny Depp thing in Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. This dude went to a concert. It was probably like a Fish concert or some bullshit up there. Him and a bunch of other people. They had like basically like that briefcase that he had in that filled with every drug imaginable. They pretty much had that. And they crashed and they did all these different drugs and shit. He was a pretty good guitarist actually. And they slept over at one of the girls' parents' house that they were going to leave with the next morning. And the father of the girl found that, it probably wasn't a briefcase, it was probably like a duffel bag, whatever, found it and flushed all of it down the toilet. It was like several $1,000s worth of drugs right down the toilet right before they were going to go.
There's some really high fish right now.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, we just mostly just did these long, epic 4-hour jams. Not on the same like riff. We would break it up and stuff.
I was about to say.
We would drink a bit and they would smoke weed. I
It's
wouldn't.
just E minor.
Like the solo for Epic, but just nonstop.
And we would definitely go to Taco Bell like after most practices, which was like 15 miles away. And I would feed the other guys different pickup lines. I would look up on my phone, and they would try them out on the server. So it was interesting. But yeah, that was Truffle Shuffle. And then No Offense was a Christian rock group I was in. We played at churches. Our first show was actually kind of interesting to be like it was my first paid show. For a first paid show, it was at Columbia Green Community College, which was pretty cool. The guitarist set it up because he went there and he was on some committee or whatever.
That sounds really prestigious.
By the way,
It was a real stage. It was in their auditorium.
Did
It wasn't
you
just
clear
like
this with his PR people before you decided to talk about
I
it?
just want to mention that the missed opportunity of not calling it No Offense.
right. That would definitely have been on point. But their lyrics weren't like brutally like in your face Christian. Like you would have had to kind of comb through the lyrics.
Doesn't matter.
So they weren't like Bible,
No.
yeah.
No, it was like there was one about a bird on a ledge or something. I don't remember.
I used to listen to As Lay Dying, and apparently they were a Christian metalcore band at some point, sorta, kinda. But they never mentioned Jesus or anything. So I mean, probably similar to you guys.
It's kind of weird how they talk about all other music that's not Christian as secular music.
Yeah.
So strange. Like Neil Young, that's secular. Well, if you lump everything into secular, like man, that's like jazz is secular. Like everything is secular.
Are you telling me
So strange.
grindcore is secular?
EDM, whatever. But yeah, so it was at a community college. We had roadies for it. We got paid $500. There was like 20 people there.
Wow.
Yeah. First show ever. Wow. Pretty cool. And pretty much the first chord that the guitarist played, his brand new Marshall stack, full stack, essentially blew up. There was smoke coming out of it. On the first, he had used that I think maybe once at practice, and literally smoke coming out of it. So we had to play acoustic with an electric guitar, and he couldn't even hear himself on that. So I had to tap as lightly as I possibly could on the drums. It was horrible. It was worst show.
I forgot that you were a drummer. That's awesome. Good for you.
But yeah, that was it. So I'll swing it on over to you. Oh, we got to get a sponsor for Jay's segment.
Ooh.
Mike, any comment?
I want to add. I should have added about like one of our first shows. So like we had like a ticket system. So like you had to sell tickets for the chance, and then you would make like Chance Complex. You would make like $2 a ticket for every ticket you sold, and like tickets were like $8 or $10.
For every ticket you sold after the first 25 you sold.
Or
at least that was when I did it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I remember we lost some tickets. So one of us had to go to the ATM and pull out like $65, which by the way, in 2007 was a lot of money.
For like $80 today.
For like 16-year-olds, we're like, where are we gonna get $65? Anyway, I had to tell that story because it was pretty funny.
All right, the following is a recorded segment. All right, good. Mike, can you roll it? Okay, good. It's rolling. Hi, my name is Sandy Wesserson. I'm running for president under the People's Party. This nonsense with this country has gone on far too long and is impacting our daily lives. I think y'all know the elephant in the room I'm talking about. speed bumps. As your president, I vow to order the destruction of every single speed bump in America. I will personally carry out the destruction of the speed bumps in and around Pennsylvania Avenue and my hometown of Hastings, Nebraska. Last year, my front axle of my 91 Volvo had to be replaced due to these menacing road whores. I believe that together we can make America flat again. Sandy Wesserson for president.
Wow, I would definitely vote for him. Where do I vote?
You say road whores? Jesus Christ.
That's his whole platform, apparently.
What's his name? Sandy Alderson?
Sandy Wesserson.
Oh,
Wait,
Sandy Wesserson.
that was a man? I thought that was a woman. I mean, at least it's a man, because I'll definitely vote for a man.
Well, we've been canceled in 7 countries now.
Good.
All right, Jay. The mystery man himself.
God.
I would love to hear your first 2 bands.
I'm very, very interested.
Because we're about to hear, like, yeah, my first band, we went on tour and we supported Third Eye Blind, and then we were also nominated for a Grammy. My very first band, I was playing guitar for 6 months.
The whole world is on the edge of their seat right now.
So let me ask you guys. This is the intro to my segment here. Let me ask you guys: have you guys both lived in this area your entire lives?
Yeah.
That fucking blows my mind.
Pretty much. I mean,
wow.
Like different parts of New York, but pretty much.
That's so wild. I've lived all over the country, literally, even the Okana states like Hawaii. I've not been to Alaska yet, but that's mind blowing.
Wow, thanks for making me feel so small.
Yeah. You guys are fucking provincial. I need to be wasting my time with you.
He lived for 6 months in Hastings, Nebraska, and actually knew Sandy Wesserson.
He's like, I voted for him.
Make the world flat again. Mafa. Make
America flat again.
All right. So it's funny because as soon as you mentioned your Christian band, I was like, you know what? I was in a Christian band.
Oh, wow. We're Christian brothers now.
We are Christian brothers. Well, that's where my email comes from. Decreebase@gmail.com. Oh, wait. Bleep that out.
Yeah.
Decreebase@gmail.com. Bleep that. Decreebase@gmail.com. Bleep that.
That was too quick. They can't pick that up.
Yeah, I'm saying it too fast. They don't know how to spell. Okay. Our 8 billion listeners are not good at listening.
They're all deplorables.
I promise you that I will definitely not bleep that, but I'll put lots of reverb on it instead.
Make it sound like I'm in a canyon. I really want to talk about that band, but I won't because that's not the topic of this conversation. We will get back to that though, because that's a little topic for another day.
So many bands to go through. He's filtering through.
Right, exactly. So like I lived in Sacramento at the time, right? And I was around 14. I'm sorry, it was like 9th grade, and my band was based out of Rio Linda, which is right next to Sacramento. If you ever listened to Rush Limbaugh, he always talked about Rio Linda. That was his way of like dumbing it down for the people. He said, for those of you in Rio Linda.
Wait, I am an avid listener of Rush Limbaugh yesterday.
He died of cancer. You're a bastard.
Ass cancer.
Was it really?
I don't know if it was ass cancer, but it might have been.
It was 100% ass cancer.
So this would have been around 1998-ish. There was no social media. I'm that old. You guys don't remember these days, but I was about 14 through 16-ish. So my band met at high school. I was good friends with my drummer.
It was lung cancer.
It was lung cancer because he smoked cigars and did all sorts of shit.
Yes.
He actually had this exact microphone, the RE20.
Oh, that's right. He did claim that like lung cancer was a hoax or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says on here. Died from lung cancer after denying smoking's risk.
Yeah. I just wanted to make the listeners think he died ass cancer
of him smoking. Right there. Oh God.
Anyway, sorry, Jay.
I'm not trying to rip on Rush.
So
yeah, he's a good human, you know.
He's a pile of skeletons and decaying meat.
I'm sure he donated to a lot of good causes over the years.
Yeah, like Tucker Carlson.
Sure. Michael Jackson.
So we were called the Scrubs.
Really? This is your first band?
This is my first real band with
what was
other
the name
people.
of your first band?
This is the first band.
Okay. So you haven't
So
worked real.
like, yeah, when I started learning instruments, it was basically when I was like 13-ish, and it was like through school. So it wasn't really like a band. It was like just kind of like, you know, learning a few notes from whatever and, you know, whatever. No real performances or anything. So this was my first real band. I had started to play bass after playing guitar for a couple years. And we were called the Scrubs. We later,
Cool name. No, it is a good name.
We were named after the Destiny's Child song. I
That's
don't want no
TLC, you
scrubs.
dumbass.
Same thing.
Wow.
What's the difference?
One's
Scrub.
good and the other isn't.
Scrub is a guy who has no
Who has no love from me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, who can't get no love from me.
No. Who has no love? The song is who can't get no love, but we were scrubs that can't get no love from some dude.
I'm confused.
It's
Keep
nothing.
going.
It's nothing weird. It's nothing weird. We were 14.
We're splitting hairs.
These men were like in their 40s, so it's okay. Okay, so
Wait, hold on.
You were 13 in a band with 40-year-olds?
I was 13. No.
Okay. No, I'm very
I was
confused.
13. I was a scrub.
Is this the Christian band?
The men who were after us were in their 40s. They could not get no love from us, so they named our band the Scrubs. Later, okay, let me ask you guys: have you ever believed in anything? Do you guys have like convictions and feelings and stuff?
I'm actually going to do a whole podcast by myself on
By
the word
that,
belief.
are you saying spirit is like spiritual wise?
Sure,
or like,
sure, anything wise.
I mean, yeah, I mean like Christianity.
I'm not as sick as you're drunk. I know.
Okay. Bookmark that spot because Christianime, that could be a thing.
Oh, no.
Christianity had me going for a second. Not gonna lie.
Samesies. From like about 12 to about how old am I now? 40ish. Okay, so after we were called the Scrubs, we put a couple songs together. This was the first band I ever actually went into the recording studio with. This was the first thing, and I remember after we got out of the recording studio, I was so excited to play the song for everyone. And I remember playing it for somebody at my Bible study, and the dude was like, "Oh, it's punk rock," and I thought
Secular.
Here's the thing: when you're young and you're in a band, you don't think your music is standard fare. You don't think it can be categorized. You're like, oh yeah, we're like punk rock, fusion, jazz, metal, shoegaze. You know whatever terms people are using.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like no one wants to just be classified as rock or jazz or well, I mean jazz people don't care, but like no one wants to be classified as punk. We want to be something special, but we weren't. And when this dude said that blew my fucking mind. So I thought we were an original punk fusion hardcore band because we played in a lot of the places that hardcore bands played. We played with a place out in Sacramento called West Coast Worldwide, which is where the Hoods played, and a bunch of other hardcore bands at the time. We were on several like hardcore compilations, so we thought we were the shit. At that point, we practiced in my guitarist's garage, and also our singer's bedroom. And I just had a little 15-watt practice amp through my bass. I blew up like 3 of those. I was like
15 watt?
15 watt. Just like playing my little fucking jazz bass.
I blew up a 100-watt crate amp once.
Oh my god.
I was trying to deal with a PV6505 half stack.
Yes.
I lost.
Yes. My guitarist has 6505. Do you know what he played through it? A fucking Podbean 2.0.
So
he put that into the input of the amp.
My third band, I guess fourth band, but the third real band that was like gigging, he put a metal zone into the clean channel.
Jesus Christ.
And it sounded okay. And that was like the tone. I have recordings of that tone. That is actually the tone you heard on the recordings of of Last Chance Standing.
You're right. That wasn't terrible.
But the live recordings were actually a dual rectifier.
Nice.
Anyway, go on.
Every time you say rectifier, it turns me on a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
bad as
literally
any.
my only goal here. In fact, I'm gauging the temperature of the room based on your turn onage.
I will explain to the audience real quick for the ones that aren't musicians. A half stack is a guitar amp that is basically up to about your hip, and a full stack is about your head. Continue, Jay.
You just described the height of it. You didn't describe anything about it.
They
A half
don't,
stack
they don't
has-
need to know anything else.
A half stack has 4 12-inch speakers in it.
They don't need
It's
to know
the
that
box
either.
with speakers. Anytime you see like a cartoon where they're playing like through an amp, that's generally a half stack or a full stack. There might be 2 of them.
If you see a stage and it has a bunch of Marshall stacks on it, those are fake.
It's true.
They're all hollowed out, and someone's playing through an Axe Effects in the back.
Not for airborne.
ACDC.
Not for airborne. Not for ACDC.
Now, he does play Marshall Plexis.
Yep.
And they blow up every show.
So this band, and I'm sure you guys can attest to this, maybe... Well, no, because that's what's interesting. Like, I started playing bass in bands. You started playing guitar in bands.
No, I started playing
Oh,
bass.
you started playing
I
bass.
started
playing
playing
bass.
kazoo,
Oh, shit.
actually.
And then there's the kazoo.
Yeah, Nick started playing kazoo. And he started doing limelight on the kazoo.
When you're in these starter bands, that's when you kind of learn. You start like we talked about last week. You start to learn your roles. You start to learn like who has the money to buy the PA.
Yeah.
Like what sort of equipment you're going to need to compete with each other. What sort of practice rehearsal space you're going to do. Who's got the transportation. I can't tell you how many times I had to drive my drummer and all of his drums and my bass amp in my tiny ass little hatchback and vice versa. And you just eventually kind of fall into these roles and figure out who spends the money and who does what. And
Yeah. I had the practice space in my band. Like, we had my father's drum set that I mentioned last episode. And, yeah.
And you get the cops called on you more than once?
No.
Really?
No, because we always stopped around like 10 at latest.
Dude, I've started at like noon on a Saturday and got the cops called on me
Really?
multiple times.
You had asshole neighbors.
Yeah, because like
Yeah, same here. It happened twice for me. It was in the middle of the day, but it was
Yeah.
it was just me. It was just me drumming. I opened the garage
Playing
door.
to 2112. Playing the Spirit Arena.
Pretty much.
He's
I
like
was-
sweating. He's got a shirt off. He's like,
I played with the garage doors open for like 2 years. It was no problem. Then I closed them for like, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And then it was like July and it was too hot. I had to open it, and they just weren't used to it being open anymore. So it was like, oh, what the fuck's all this noise from? So yeah, like, I'm literally playing on it. I hear whoop whoop, and the guy's like right there. The cop. There was 2 cars. They brought 2 cars. They were like, yeah, we thought it'd be like a huge rager party or something. It's just you and your garage alone.
and your drum playing Rush. In your basement just playing
you
Rush.
are the problem.
They're like, you're fine. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, my father just kind of talked to neighbors, and they were like, okay, as long as it's like not like super late, like, and I guess like we were like rural suburbia, so like the houses were a little farther apart.
Oh yeah,
except right on top of each
we
other.
were definitely
so.
in like suburbia where everyone has like a fucking manicured lawn and fucking. It was
Right up on each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not a great place. But that's what I was asking about. If you guys believe in anything, because this band apparently believed in something that we changed our name from the Scrubs to No More Bloodshed. We were very.
That's a badass name.
It was kind of cool.
That's
we
a
even had
badass
like we
name.
even had like shirts and
It's a
like
big change.
yeah, and like the.
Well, you wear scrubs to protect yourself from the blood.
Did you guys have a
And now
breakdown?
you're shedding.
We had so many breakdowns.
Did you have a breakdown? Where it's like,
I was blood. I'm gonna. Hey, listeners, I'm gonna share the music with Mike so he can put some clips in this podcast. Yes, we had breakdowns. And this is what I was talking about. We had some weird fucking parts. Like I played slap bass, and I was big into jazz at the time. Like I was big into Jocko. At that time, that's when I like ripped all the frets out of my jazz bass and filled it in with fucking wood putty and made it a fretless bass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I was
it a Squire?
No, it was an actual. It was probably made in Mexico, but it was a Fender Jazz.
It was a Fender Jazz.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a black jazz bass. I did the same thing. I pulled the pick guard off and everything. It was great.
I should have mentioned I started on a Kramer Focus bass.
Oh, those are cool.
I still have it.
The bass. I don't know the bass.
Kramer Focus 420S. I remember the whole thing. It's just a P bass.
Oh,
And yeah, it's got a big old neck on it. I actually a couple years ago, for the nerds listening to the podcast, one of you, I put American original 60s P bass pickups in it.
You want
And
to
then I
explain
put
everyone what a P bass is?
Precision
know.
bass. The first electric bass ever invented was a precision bass by Leo Fender. Yeah, that is true. The single pickup that like Sting plays all the time, that's a precision bass.
That's like a Bronco bass sort of thing, isn't it? Oh no, it's like it's the original precision bass.
Slab body, no contours in it or anything. But yeah, I put CTS bots in it, and it sounds really fucking good. I actually A/B'd it when I had my Nash P bass. Between the two, like I recorded them, and I was actually a little upset because the other one sounded more like a P bass. Like what I thought a P bass would sound like, really mid-rangey and stuff.
I just listened to my friend's progressive metal album that he recorded himself, and the bass sounds fucking godly on it. It almost sounds like a Rickenbacker 3004 or 4004, something like that.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I make it 3000.
Say what?
I don't think I make it 3000.
What do they make?
4001.
I don't know.
I think it's a 4001 and 4003.
See, listeners, go back to the last podcast. This is what I was talking about. It sounds fucking amazing, and I asked him what it was, and it's this fucking no-name fucking Kramer or something like that he had just like put like nice pickups in. But anyway, so this band transformed into No More Bloodshed, and that's when we played like parks and festivals and high schools and shit like that, all just original. We only had like 5 songs, so like it was always like 15 fucking bands, and like, you know, it was.
That's awesome. You played like battle of the bands and stuff like that?
Yeah, lots of battle of the bands. And it was a lot of fun, but it ended up being... I feel like we broke up because the singer's girlfriend got too involved with stuff.
Wow, this is the tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Why does that happen? It's so strange.
and it was like... I think I was the one to kind of just like break the log jam in the band. Like I was just like, okay, guys, I'm out, and that was that. And then I ended up playing with some fucking like Australian dude who was just into like recording songs and producing them online and stuff. But my second band, at the same time,
Can you say log jam again first?
Log jam.
Log jam.
Oh my god, my voice isn't working. Log jam.
All right, your second band.
Log jam.
That's how I'll start the podcast. Log jam.
That sounds like the newest Disney ride.
Log jam.
Before you go into the rest of this is also brought to you by Drownland Spring Terra.
Ooh.
8.2% alcohol, just saying.
Wait, what's it called? Log jam what?
It's a good sound right there.
Spring Terra.
Log jam Spring Terra. Oh, that's a nice sound. You should hold that up next to the mic as you pour that. Okay, that was fake sound. Okay.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna pour some in this can for you.
Oh, sweet. That works. This segment is also brought to you by Paint. You make rooms slightly smaller. Paint. Okay, check that one off.
It's not by Sherman Williams, or it's just paint in general. I love it.
Just paint.
Now,
I don't know, man. I don't write
Not
these.
Benjamin Moore. Is just, wow,
bro. Wait till they sponsor and start spouting their names
crazy.
off.
Well, when we get to our fourth band, I have a story. Actually, I'll just tell right now about Paint. In that exact fashion, my friend built a room once, and I helped him build a room. He was in my band. Well, he just built it. I just held the fucking screws or whatever. held the wood up and screwed some things in. But he built the room, and he was like, "I'm painting it blue." I'm like, "Cool." He's like, "The whole thing blue." I'm like, "Even the ceiling?" He's like, "Yeah." And he fucking painted everything and blue, like a dark blue. And it was a pretty decent sized room that we built, and it felt so small. It felt like a coffin because the ceiling was blue, everything was blue.
I did that to my bedroom when I was a kid.
It's like that song.
I liked
I'm
it.
blue, and I would beat off a guy, 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 and I would beat off a guy. Oh shit, beer! Fuck yeah.
Well, we've just been canceled in Zimbabwe.
Thanks. Oh yeah, no. What country was it where they just like banned beating guys off?
Zimbabwe.
Oh, that's right, Zimbabwe.
All the listeners from Zimbabwe. I'm sorry, all 37 million of you.
Dutch riders are still okay though. They don't count.
So are Alaskan snow crabs,
but they are illegal wherever
So
the Dutch
are Alaskan snow crab. Have you ever seen one?
they're big.
They're huge. They're like they're at least for listeners. My arms are all the way up, just all the way open.
It's like 12 inches.
It's at
He's
least
a very small man.
I'm a little tiny guy.
We put him in our pockets when we go to gigs.
It is the width of a bald eagle's wingspan, which I see every day when I'm working at work.
God, nobody cares.
America cares.
America cares.
I've seen a few around lately. It's weird.
But do you see one like right above your head on a pine tree? Nope.
In my car, like flying.
Do you see one stealing your baby as you're driving away?
I saw one.
My baby.
It was right on this road. It was right on this road, right on my car. It was pretty cool. Oh.
My second band.
Wait,
Yes, your second- oh, this is gonna take a long
wait,
time.
hold on. Let me react to next door. Wow.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop it.
My
second band. Jesus
My
Christ.
second
Oh
band
my
was
God.
called Morning. Like
In mourning.
like Morning Wood, but like sad.
Is it with a
Morning
U?
Wood.
Yeah, okay. All right. Got it.
It was called Morning Wood. So I was like, I was between 17 and 19 because I was still out in Sacramento, right? Another all original band. It was like metal. My guitarist was the 7 foot tall, fucking long black hair, like fat goth, and he was obsessed with Billy Corgan.
I thought he would be obsessed with the guy from Typo Negative.
I don't know your hippie bands. I'm sorry.
It's like God. Never mind. He's like a 7 foot guy who's in a goth band.
My singer at the time, I forgot his name. It doesn't matter. So listeners don't care. They only care how big my dick is. My
7 inches wide.
Exactly. Thank you for mentioning the width because the length is not impressive.
7 inches radius. So then do pi r squared, and you can find the circumference from that.
It says
Still-
it says he's 6'2".
Who?
Billy Corgan.
Oh shit! Really?
Wow, he's actually taller than I thought.
I
thought he'd be like 4'5".
I thought people keep saying. I thought people keep saying that he is like crazy tall, like 6'7".
Type in-
I mean,
Uh,
6'2" is pretty tall.
I think his name is like Lex Steele or something like that from Typo Negative. Just type in Typo Negative singer. He's a bass player too. Height. I shouldn't trust old man Nick with this, but
I'm holding
we
my
are.
glass in my other hand.
Why do we let him
I'm like
use a
one-handed
computer?
typing.
He shouldn't be trusted with a computer.
Peter Steele.
Peter Steele.
You looking at porn over there? That's my job.
You never know. I mean, it doesn't look like him. Is this supposed to be a different person?
Height. He's like 6'8" or something.
6'8", yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Shit. Throw you some wows.
Wow.
Jackass.
So my singer had this technique where he would breathe in when he would sing. He'd be like,
Oh, so you did the inhale.
yeah. And it blew my mind because when it was going through the PA and we were all playing, it sounded really good. But then when he would just be like standing there practicing by himself, I'm like, this motherfucker.
I apologize to the listeners. They do this to the mic.
That's exactly it.
So you cup the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, he would cup the mic and breathe in as he was singing. We played I think we only played one gig as that outfit, and it was like this festival gig at some place in the foothills of near Sacramento, and we got interviewed by this radio station or whatever, and they're like, "What's your favorite drug?" And I was like, my favorite drug is Jesus.
Did you?
I legitimately said that. And
They were like, oh.
they were so nice. They didn't call me out for my bullshit. Needless,
Were you
needless
guys
to
a
say,
Christian hardcore band?
No.
Okay.
I was just like Christian at the time.
Okay.
But it's funny because when I was there, I watched some of the other bands practice, and they were really fucking good. And I was like, I went up to them after the gig, and I was like, when do you how do you guys practice? Because they had been on the road, they'd been touring the country or whatever, and they're like, this is how we practice. They like pointed to the stage, and
They're
I'm like,
this is how we do it. This is how we do it.
You came in fucking early. That was one of the first times that I realized that working gigging bands didn't have as much free time as I did. Like they literally have to practice when they can practice. It was I don't remember exactly how that band ended, but that was around when I was like 17 to 19. So I had moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota from Sacramento when I was 19. So probably just ended. I was like, sorry guys, gotta go. Bye.
And I know that band that you were in when you were in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Well, one of them is Decree. That's
okay.
where my email is based off. But we'll talk about that on a separate episode. But so
that's where it's based off.
You learn a lot. This band right here, Morning, was the first one that I'd actually got to a actual legitimate rehearsal studio where you go in and you pay $15 a month and you get a room once a week for an hour, and there's like 8 other rooms in the place. It's like an office space essentially, and there's
you only had it for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Well, no, but
Do you know how much it was an hour? Do you remember?
I want to say like $60 or whatever.
60?
Wow. Yeah, there was 5 of us, and we only owed like $10 each, $10-12 each.
Hodgepodge was
Thank
35.
Thank
30.
God my parents had the basement.
Yeah, that's what I was used to. I was used to basements and bedrooms and wherever we could garages wherever we could manage. But this was the first time where like you'd walk in there, there'd be a PA set up, it'd be sound treated. You just like, in my case, just plug my whatever bass pedal I had in at the time. The guitarist would plug in his pedal board, and there's already a drum set set up, and you're good to go.
My first real amp was a Crate 100 watt bass amp, the one that blew up. It had a graphic EQ, which is like a 9-band graphic EQ, which is kind of funny. But because I know what I was doing, I just made a smiley face. I was like, "Oh, I think that's what it does." And, but
like raised 750 hertz, like crazy.
So like the first PA we had was like this, like it was like a power amp for like stereo speakers, like you would listen to music with, not like a PA.
Oh
and
shit!
We had like the speaker cable, like a red and a black cable, on a 1/4 inch, like one, like a one to the ground and one to the hot lead, and then like electrical taped on it, and then like plugged it into these EV PA speakers that we had. And like passive speakers, and that was the first one, and it just sounded like distortion and like electricity. But it sounded kind of cool because the guy, like in your band, he was screaming, so like it was kind of cool actually. I wish I still had the recordings of it, but then I cut it out of the last episode. That's how we got into the PV. Someone gave us the 70s PV that used to shock us all the time.
The Scrubs / No More Bloodshed. We bought a Yamaha mixer and PA.
Solid mixer. Solid little powered mixers.
It was decent. It was like a 6-channel or something, and it had like 2 12-inch monitor. Like that was like our shit at the time. We're like, oh my god, we have a real PA. We're a real band.
That's what I had in the first real gigging band. Like we gigged with our own PA and stuff.
Nice.
But we bought from Alto Music. Not sponsored.
Not yet.
Ooh, it should be.
Current event.
Oh, I have one. Oh, wait, Mike, you got one? You jumped up like you have.
No.
I've got one too.
No.
Go ahead, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's what day is today? Is today the 18th or 17th? 18th. Okay. So we're 3 days late. However, April 15th is the Mbop-iversary.
Wow.
In 1997, Mbop was released on April 15th. Hanson's number one, their only one. I mean, as a Hanson fan, I know they have shit tons more hits. But
you're forgetting about Where's the Love.
Right.
No, I'm just I only know that because of you.
But that didn't go number 1, did it?
I don't think so. But Mbop, definitely.
If you ask the average person, the only song they know is Mbop.
Exactly. And it's so sad because they have so much good stuff.
They are incredible musicians. I sent you that Beach Boys harmony they were doing.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I just suck their dicks.
He has a Hanson sticker on his car. They drove
It's true. Nobody fucking knows what it is. So when I was 14, it was April 15th. This is the one day I can remember from my childhood. Basically everything from age, whenever I was conceived to, 3 weeks ago, I can't remember. However, on April 15th, 1997, I was walking out of my friend Tommy's house, and on the TV, his sister was watching MTV, and Hanson's Mbop was on. And I was like, who are these beautiful girls? Thus started my sexual confusion.
Well, to answer your question, the highest it charted was number 2 in Australia and Canada. In the U.S., the highest it got to was 6 on mainstream top 40.
Mbop?
Yeah, top 40. Yeah, no.
Where's the Love?
Where's the Love?
Oh. Yeah. Mbop was definitely like number 1, right? At some point.
It got to number 4 in UK.
Number 6 is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It still is.
There's some well-known songs like Amber. I thought like Amber Lynn's Feel Good Drag was like a number 1 single, and it was like maybe number 2 on the alternative list. It was probably top 40 at best.
I thought it sold 200,000 copies in UK alone.
Just Where's the Love?
Yeah.
The single.
The single, yeah.
I had the single for Mbop, and that it's cool because it came with like several different mixes, but then I also had Middle of Nowhere, which is the album that it was on. And I swear to God, I probably listened to that song.
I had that on cassette.
Yeah, I had it on cassette too. I probably listened to that entire album like several 100 times.
I don't think I listened to it. I had it, but I don't think I played it.
Shame on you. But the single, I easily listened to 200 times. I went on a long road trip, like right around the time, like a couple weeks later, and I listened to it nonstop on my CD player, my Discman.
Here's where our millennial divide begins.
It's true. I'm an old millennial.
Mike's a young millennial.
I was born in 93. That was in 96, you said?
The song came out in 97.
May 6, 97.
Yeah.
April 15th. The album might have come out later, but the actual single came out on April 15th.
I probably, like, a couple years later, like, because it was one of those, like, unfortunately for them, flash in the pan type of things, And
not for me.
not for Jay. No, I mean,
still my obsession.
I mean, it sticks around with people. I mean, there's bands that, like, I love that nobody cares about. Like Misery Singles. Great band.
Never heard of.
Great band. The highest of metalcore you can get.
We should talk about that sometimes. Like bands that we're obsessed with that no one else fucking cares about. Like Dave Matthews Band. Or
Shut
Rush.
You bite your tongue.
I have every good Rush album on vinyl. That excludes anything.
They're all
in other
20
words,
are good.
He has no vinyl.
It excludes anything after Moving Pictures. But starting with Snake Snares.
You haven't even listened to all of them yet. So that was a good this day in rock history. So for a current event, headline is New York City is waging a war against rats. Meet the woman leading the charge.
That's a New York Times article.
Kathleen Corradi is the newly appointed New York City's rat czar, the first person holding the position aiming to address the swelling rat population.
Have you ever seen a rat in New York City?
They're like the size of cats, like everywhere else.
Depends. Yeah.
They are literally like, they're like a small dog. They're like the size of Lucy, some of those fucking things. I'm like, he's got a Yorkie named Lucy.
I have a Yorkie.
Yeah. I've never seen one of those giant ones.
Jay has a
but
Yorkie.
I see like the regular, not counting the tail, probably 7-8 inches long. Yeah, then the tail another 4 or 5.
Bro, I seen one that was like,
I know those exist, but I've never actually seen.
I would say the body was like 15 inches.
I
was
thought they
absolutely a fucking tank. Like I looked at it, I was like, did you see that? And my friend who lived in Washington Heights just said to me, that's lucky. That's all you see. And we kept walking.
So she's the first person ever to hold that thing, and she's not a rodentologist. I've never heard that word before.
Rodentologist.
Former elementary school
Why is it
teacher,
there?
and she'll earn a salary of $155,000 a year. So she's the first person ever to
$155,000 a
hold
year?
that thing. Yeah, and she's not probably for like 1 year. Then they'll be like, all right, this isn't working. Go do something else.
Can you imagine like being the rat czar in New York? There's no way.
I read a article a couple years ago that they try to unleash feral cats onto the rats, and what happens is that the rats grow too big, and they ended up finding most of the time cats and rats eating out of the same dumpsters, like coexisting.
Yeah, they're basically like siblings at that point.
Call it a night. I gotta get going.
You gotta get going? Okay.
We gotta do our taxes.
Yeah, it's
like now.
I looked at my wrist. Like
Isn't it tax day?
Apparently, there's one thing we forgot. Oh, it's a fucking nightmare.
all right, listeners. When you listen to us again, Nick will be in jail because of taxes. So bye.
See you next time.
We'll miss you.